Okay, new video. Here I am again with my whiteboard, trying to bring to you some educational content for you to go away with based on a question that I got asked the other day, which was breaking through training and diet plateaus. So at the moment, are you somebody who's noticed that you're struggling to see results? You were seeing good results initially, which everyone normally does, then it gets to a point where your body starts to become adaptive and it starts to not respond to the stimulus that you're putting it through. So why does that happen? And why is that making your results stall? And why are you not seeing the results that you want to see? So the first thing I'm going to say is, are you truly being consistent to the protocol and the approach that you've set out to follow? So this means, are you binging at the weekend? Because 9 times out of 10, this is largely the problem. Because if you're finding your program is like plateaued within the first month, either your programming is dog shit, or you're actually finding that you're not actually being consistent with the approach that you're going to follow, because a calorie deficit will work for a prolonged period of time. There will come a point where your body will start to stall because your body will start to become incredibly adaptive, but that doesn't happen until way down the diet, and by that point you're already pretty happy with the results you've got, and it won't be a case of, oh, it's not working. It'll be a case of, that's worked and served its purpose, but now I need to make a little adjustment, which is being progressive, because you have to be progressive, right? Because let's say, for example, let's use my prep right now. So if I was to continue to do the same thing that I did do at the start of the prep now, there would be a point where I would not continue to see results, because the body becomes incredibly adaptive. So in my prep last year, I used the same protocol for the whole 12 weeks. The coach that I worked with didn't have me change my program. Hence why I feel at 6 weeks out, I look no different on the day of my show. Whereas in that phase, I was willing and wanted to work harder, but he said not to. So it isn't his fault, that's just the way it went. And it taught me an incredible amount, which is I'm truly grateful for. So this isn't me slagging my coach off, this is me saying I learned a lot from that experience. So when I obviously prep myself this time, I can move further on and progress further, which is what I've done. And I want to explain in this video how you can make that happen. So if you are being incredibly meticulous and you are writing everything down and you are doing everything that you set out to do and you're being really consistent, but you're not seeing the results that you want, then these are the things you can put in place to ensure that you keep seeing results. Because I'm going to try and explain to you why this is happening and why your body's doing this and why your body isn't being a prick. It's just becoming incredibly adaptive, because that is what it's trained to do. So when you're in a deficit of calories or an energy deficit for a prolonged period of time, like chronically, where you're obviously for a long time you're putting your body in a position where it's hungry, then if you go back to our ancestors, like, what does it used to do? So if you think of our ancestors, when we were hungry, we would hibernate to a point, which is what I'm actually doing in the last phase of my prep, which is what a lot of people will do, is because they will hibernate because they don't know when the next meal is going to come. So obviously for me, I know when my next meal is going to come. I'm going to go and fucking hunt for it. I know when it's coming. So, but to a point, I do remove myself from social situations. I do things like that, but that isn't relevant for the majority of people watching this video, because you're not in a comp prep. You're just in a real life situation where you want to see more fat loss. But if you think of our ancestors and what they had to go through, our body becomes incredibly adaptive. So our body's metabolic output will reduce based on what we take on board. So if we bring our calories really low, then our body will obviously drop weight really quick, but then it becomes incredibly adaptive. So all of a sudden we stop moving as much. So this activity tracker is incredibly important. So in my prep last year, I've said about this before, I didn't count steps. All I did was cardio, but the rest of the time in my last 4 or 5 weeks of prep, I did not get off the sofa because I was so tired. And I would be doing exactly the same now because I'm really tired, but I have this thing here keeping me accountable to hit X amount of steps every single day. And it is getting more challenging, but do you know what? I'm still doing it. But if you also look at that in the second point of view, if I'm doing 15,000 steps at the beginning of my prep when I'm 15 kilo heavier, that is going to burn more calories than doing 15,000 steps now, because I'm 15 kilos lighter and my body becomes incredibly efficient at doing that walk. Hence why, towards the end of a prep, it becomes almost like imperative to either increase your steps or maybe carry a bag that makes you the same weight as when you started the prep, or even change up your cardio entirely. Obviously, I would recommend keeping steps at a certain amount, because that regulates your output, because you will have days where you won't want to get off the sofa if you're prepping for a show. Like, this isn't, my audience isn't really people that are prepping for shows. This isn't largely relevant. But if you're in a chronic period where you're in a deficit for a long time, you will have days where you don't want to get up and move. And this is where your fat loss will begin to stall. So if you are finding you're stalling and you're hitting plateaus, it's because you're having days where your output is incredibly low and your intake of food isn't low enough to bring you into a deficit. Therefore, your body will stop losing body fat. That's what it does. So in order for you to keep your body losing body fat, which is what you want it to do, right? You need to ensure that you're controlling the variables that actually make that happen, which is a calorie deficit. So you have to be consistent with your diet for a long period of time. You have to implement refeeds to increase performance in the gym. Like if you're not logging your list in the gym, how do you know your performance is improving? And if your performance is improving, then your calorie expenditure will improve as well. So for example, if you count a set of 30 kilo dumbbell presses for 8 reps versus a set of 34 kilo dumbbell presses for 8 reps, that 34 kilo set is going to burn more calories. And it's going to have you require more muscle to do that, right? Therefore, that more muscle requires more calories to maintain. Therefore, it becomes easier for you to that kind of makes sense. There's more of a knock-on effect. So are you measuring your strength? Are you being progressive with your strength? Are you measuring your output? Are you being progressive with your output? Like, are you doing performance-based cardio? Are you doing HIIT training? Are you doing low-intensity steady state? Are you tracking the calories that you're burning? Like, are you being meticulous with your approach? Like, I hate to sound like a fucking douchebag saying, are you doing this? Are you doing that? But the reality is, if you are controlling the variables, then these are the details you need to go into to manage. But if you're actually still seeing results, then this video is largely like inadequate for you. That you don't need to go into the nitty-gritty details of the small things that doesn't really matter, because initially most people watching this video, all you need to adhere to is calories and protein from a diet. Calories and protein, because none of you are doing it. Therefore, that stimulus is going to see you great results. Whereas if you're nailing calories and protein and have them for a long time, and your body begins to stall on that, that's when you need to think, right, okay, now I need to up my ante because I've hit a plateau. But I would argue that the majority of people who are watching this video haven't actually reached a plateau. You're just being either 1, lazy, 2, you're programming shit, or 3, you're not consistent enough. So now those 3, just think, in order for me to get the results that I want, if I'm a general novice or someone who just looks training but isn't really maxing out my potential, which is the majority of fucking people, and I've been there and I have done for a very long time, and it's only been recently that I've actually started to nail the variables that get me the results that I want, and now I can see the powerful impact of being consistent with diet, training, output, and controlling the variables that actually get the results that you want, because they're so fucking easy. Once you control them, that you'll see the results, and it happens very quickly. And all of a sudden you'll think, fucking hell, I wish I started doing this when I first started going to the gym. And that's why I'm putting out this content, because for me it's powerful. Because if I was to see these videos when I first started going to the gym, I'd be like, fucking hell, I'd be a million miles ahead of where I am now. With regards to my training performance, my fitness levels, my everything, my strength. Like, and all these things are going to be the variables that come together to combine the physique that you want to have. And it all comes together based on everything. Like, so your energy balance is what obviously equates to the result that you get. So are you being consistent with your diet? Are you being consistent with your training? Are you controlling the variables that I speak about in all of my videos? Like, do you want 6-pack abs? Do you want better arms? Like, are you doing the exercises, and are you controlling your diet in a way that will make that happen? Or are you not? And are you saying, oh, I've hit a plateau, I don't know what to do now? When really, you're not actually doing anything. You're dabbling with training, you're dabbling with your diet. What you need to do is be consistent and go all in on an approach. If you want a result, like if you want a really good fucking result and you want people to turn their heads and think, fucking hell, he's doing well in the gym, which is fucking realistic for every single person, right? You just need to put one foot in front of the other and follow a program that is designed to get you that result, which is completely easily engineered, right? You just need to follow my videos. Like, I'm telling you what you need to do. You need a calorie deficit, therefore you need to aim for, but it goes to the macros video that I posted last week. But that's your macro intake. Like, if you're not an incredibly active person, then reduce the amount of calories on it and be consistent with it and follow it. Like, fuck me, if you want me to do it all for you, then I have that in place. Like, I coach people, it's my job. But at the same time, you don't actually need me. You just need to put one foot in front of the other. And the only difference with working with me is I'll guarantee you a result is because that's what I do. I'm a results-based personal trainer. And that's why I put these videos out there, because I want to make an impact, I want to influence people. I want people to just watch my videos and go away and get results, and then all of a sudden they tell the next person, then my brand and my exposure increases because I'm helping people for free. Yes, it's my job as well, but I make time in my day to bring value and try and help people. So I hope you can understand that anyone can achieve these results. So I'll take on clients now and I'm like, mate, are you ready? Because if you follow this, you're going to look very fucking different. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking ready. And then all of a sudden, they've got that self-belief that they need because they're confident and they trust me as their coach. Then they go away and get the results and they're like, fucking hell. And all of a sudden, they're teaching all their mates how to do it as well. And then a lot of people who work with a personal trainer become personal trainers because they realise how fucking easy and how fun and how rewarding and how amazing it feels to get the results that they've been trying to get for so long in the gym, but they're not doing what it needs to be done to go and get them. They're just doing one thing or the other. They're like nailed the basics, which is diet, training, and you will all of a sudden see great results. Be progressive, count things, write shit down. Like fucking, there it is, write shit down. And that smiley face will be you when you see the results that come as a result of being just controlling the variables. Once you manage the things that are going to dictate your results, all of a sudden you can be fucking, oh my God, like I'm getting leaner. Like the results that like as I've literally got leaner throughout my prep that I've done, it hasn't happened by accident. It's happened by me ticking the boxes every day of the variables that dictate whether or not I get leaner or not. And if I did that at the beginning of my prep, no one would have liked the abs underneath that. No one would have, there's no point in me doing that because I wasn't in a position to do that, but I knew, and I fucking had self-belief, and I knew that if I was to control the things that I know I can, that gets me the results, I can stand here and do a video, 11 minutes long, that will show people that that's what you can achieve if you, not just by being a fucking personal trainer, because it makes no difference. Like I have a lot of clients, and me managing my time to find time to train and to eat is difficult, but I make time. Just because I'm a personal trainer doesn't make it any different. Doesn't make it any different at all. Like anyone can do this. You could work in an office, you could be a fucking dog walker, you could be a fireman, like anyone can get these results. They're based on energy balance, which is from diet, training, and you're already fucking trying with both of them, you're just not doing the right things with each of them. So learn to do the right things. Watch my macros video, do that with your diet, your training videos, but your training will be based on, I'll do a video on training because I feel like I haven't done much training stuff before, but I'm sharing videos of me training, what I'm doing. Follow it. Like copy what I do if you want. I'm going to create like an area on my website where you can literally just copy everything that I do. Breathe, Jack. So I hope this kind of has been like an informative video to make you realise that you can fucking get shredded or fucking gain weight or whatever goal you've got set, you can achieve it. You just need to put one foot in front of the other and do the things that actually will contribute to getting you that result, and all of a sudden it will fucking happen. But you have to promise me one thing: you will be patient and you'll be consistent, because that's two things. But do combine those two, and your results in any endeavour, if you're doing the right things, will be fucking incredible. So yeah, on that note, I'm out. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. It would mean a lot to me if you could give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you very soon in the next video.